Hello and welcome to the stock market analysis. Now, Apple is in a daily downtrend. Will this stock crash lower? Now, that is the question. Now, if a stock is in a downtrend, what do you think? The possibility and odds of it going lower are very, very high because a stock that is in motion tends to stay in motion. Now, why is it in the downtrend? The stock is in the downtrend because, first of all, it has broken below the 200-day moving average. Usually when the stock is below the 200 MA, this is the 200 MA, you try to find support here, but eventually it broke below the 200 MA. When the stock is below the 200 MA, it's not a very good sign. You can see here the move up to here, it has been above the 200 MA, but it broke support, broke below the 200 MA, and things are not looking good for it at the moment. And the stock also had a bearish cross where the 20 MA breaks below the 50 MA, and then the 20 MA declines, the 50 MA is declining, and look at the 200 MA carefully, it's slanting lower. So we have faster moving average below the 50 MA, the 50 MA below the 200 MA. This is a picture of weaknesses. This is a picture of downtrend. As opposed to here, when the 200 MA is rising, the 20 MA is rising, it's above the 50 MA, 50 MA is rising, and the 50 MA is above the 200 MA, and they're all rising. Look how nice the stock went up. So I would say that this is not a very good time for you to be buying the stock. And this stock, at first I thought it might form a double bottom here, but it doesn't look like it wants to form a double bottom, but it's just drifting lower, and it's just hanging around here because there is support in this area. And also some pockets of support here. Let me just draw to you some the areas of support. Okay, this is the area of support. There comes some congestion here, and the next nice area of support will be around here. Okay, so if it continues to erode the support, it may drop way down to 150. Not surprising at all. So should you be buying the stock at this moment? I do not think so. This is not a very good time for you to be long this stock unless this support holds, it goes back above the 20 MA, and it goes back above the 50 MA. And there are times when you can buy this stock. There are times where you shouldn't buy this stock. And at least for me, I would like it to trade above this downtrend line, maybe form a triple bottom before you even think of buying it. But of course, Apple is very resilient in the long term. It continues to go up. Even if it drops to 150, this might be a very viable area for it to go up. You can see how all the way it drops, but all the way it rises. And sometimes it just gives you a very nice trade, like hanging around the 200 MA. It breaks the downtrend line. You can zoom into the 60-minute to find the downtrend line, kind of like double bottom, and boom, all the way it goes up. So if you just have to be very patient with Apple, and there are times that it can give you a very good risk to reward and a lot of trading profits. For example, once it breaks this downtrend line, you could have bought it, put a stop loss at this lows, and just ride it higher. Wow, this is like risk reward ratio of 5.18. So your risk, let's say, is 10,000, but if you sell about here, it'll be 50,000 you're making. So the risk reward is 5.18. Some of these things you should consider, because Apple is very good at giving us all these kinds of trades. And for example, here we have a ascending triangle breakout, ascending triangle type of breakout. You could have bought it and ride it higher and put a stop loss here, and it would also have been very good. Now let me just remove the drawing tools here. Alright, and then let's switch to the 60-minute, the weekly chart. Now weekly chart, this will be a very familiar pattern to you. This will be a double top kind of pattern. Okay, double top kind of pattern, although it's not really the ideal double top, but it does tell you that, you know, double tops can materialize even in the weekly chart. And from if the stock cannot go above this high here, there's a lot of damage being done. Now, and the 20 MA might cross below the 50 MA, and we might soon have a bearish cross in the stock of Apple in the weekly chart. But again, the rising 200 MA in the weekly chart tells us that this is a strong resilient stock. You never give up on Apple, because it might just go down all the way and go up, okay, chugging higher. And you can see that this stock has not dropped below the weekly 200 MA for a long time. You can go back all the way back to 2005, and it's still going up. Yeah, there's sometimes it dropped slightly below, but most of the time it has been staying above the weekly 200 MA. Look at the stock price, right? Found support here, and all the way it is still rising. And this tells us, right, sell off and dips in Apple can actually be good buying opportunities for investors. And yep, it broke this uptrend line in the weekly chart. That's why it's falling. But I believe there are pockets of support here, this consolidation, and of course this support here. There's a lot of support areas here. So if the stock drops to the 200 MA or this area, or even this area, there's a lot of support, and you can actually buy the stock cheaper. Monthly chart, you can see that yeah, you can see a double top here very clearly, right? So if it really materializes, you can take the height of this double top to the neckline and project it lower to get price target about here, which might be a very good area for you to buy if you are investors. You don't trade Apple. For most people, you should invest in Apple because their products are very good. They're long-term wise, right? It has been a winner since for so many years. Okay, any weaknesses and dips are actually very good buying opportunities. Now let's go back to the daily chart. Yep, it's in the downtrend, trying to break lower. And in the 60-minute chart, I do not advise you to long stocks in the short term. Why? Because first of all, there's a bearish cross, the 20 MA and 50 MA, and declining. And when the stock is below the 60-minute 200 MA, just like it's gone below here, never ever buy the stock for a short-term trade. So be patient, wait for it to go back above the 20 MA, 50 MA, and 200 MA, right? And then we see whether it can stabilize or not. So I hope this analysis is helpful to you. You have to look at stocks from multiple time frame analysis, and then you get a bigger picture of what's going to happen. If you're an investor, yes, the more Apple sells off to support areas, that's where you should buy. But if you're a trader, short-term holding on a week or two or a few days, it's better not to touch it right now because conditions are not very good. So I hope this analysis is really helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next one.